Hello everyone, and welcome back to JackDoesGaming, the channel where all your favourites get critiqued. Whether good or bad, we're going to be talking about them, and today's game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, definitely walks that line. I will be covering the other entries in this series, but with checking this one out on release, I definitely have some thoughts on my overall time with it. For a long time, the fans of the series have wanted this to go to feudal Japan, myself included. There was a time last year when I decided to really give Ghost of Tsushima a go, and I ended up 100%ing the game and obtaining the platinum on my PS5. I don't want to compare Tsushima to Shadows too much, as there are a lot of similarities and a lot that each game does that the other one does not. This game takes place during feudal Japan, specifically the year 1579, and is in the final stage of the Sengoku period, which was a time of civil war in Japan. Historical figures like Oda Nobunaga are present in the game. I do apologise if I butcher any of these, by the way. It's a staple of the Assassin's Creed games, which funnily enough was how I learnt about the Borgia family from Assassin's Creed 2. But to be fair, I do like to put Assassin's Creed down to the reason why I really love history. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the latest game in the franchise, and is the second game to include two playable characters that are side by side in the story, Yasuke and Naoe. The last game to do this was Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you played as assassin twins, or as twins, as I like to call them, known as Jacob and Evie Fry. There was something similar in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, but this was the same character who was just gender swapped, which did allow interesting story changes that really mix things up. Naoe is a shinobi whose family is tied to the Brotherhood. Her gameplay primarily focuses on stealth, and with the help of a handy grappling hook, she can climb walls, swing over gaps, and even swing over potential targets and enemies for an air assassination. Naoe can also use the shadows to sneak around and surprise any enemies you encounter. Her main weapons are the katana, the kusarigama, and the tanto dagger, which she dual wields with her hidden blade. I'm going to be fighting through some of these pronunciations, so I can only apologise. Naoe has a ton of agility in her kit. She can dodge enemy strikes, perform perfect counters, and vault over enemies to gain an advantage. She also has her own skill set that you can customise and adapt to your playstyle. Yasuke is a bit more of a brute when it comes to combat. He initially has a katana, but you can obtain different weapons such as the naginata and the kanabo. He's also really effective from a distance with a bow. Yasuke benefits from a larger health pool and can parry attacks during combat. He's amazingly durable and can open enemies up for a direct counter. Superior size and strength trumps all with Yasuke. His skill set is different to Naoe's, as he's a full-on tank who can run into a fight and kick enemies into oblivion. Exploration is the same for both characters, again the only difference being that Naoe is a lot more agile and Yasuke is a lot more of a powerhouse. From the get-go, you meet Yasuke and witness the partnership of him and Oda Nobunaga, the game's apparent big bad. Through a lengthy prologue, we get a taste of Yasuke's strength, murdering your enemies along the way. Shortly after this, we meet Naoe and her father, who shortly after is murdered by a mysterious group, fueling Naoe's quest for vengeance. Before playing as Yasuke, you face Oda Nobunaga as Naoe, and this is the instance our dual protagonists meet. Yasuke stops Naoe from killing Oda and recognizes the hidden blade. Naoe escapes and Oda commits seppuku. What? He's not the big bad? Oh well, it must be this shady bastard. Yasuke tracks down Naoe and forms an uneasy alliance to take down the group that killed Naoe's father. This is where I fell off the game, at least from the story. For a long time, Ubisoft really wanted to have these games feel less like the days of old, swinging more towards action RPG with heavy focus on looting and grinding for the gear you want. I sank some time into Shadows on Xbox as it was part of Ubisoft Plus, and I didn't really want to spend money on it as I was really unsure on this one. Ubisoft's become a bit of a black hole regarding controversy, and especially regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yasuke's inclusion was a big one, as it perceived historical inaccuracies in the game's portrayal of feudal Japan, and that his presence was a form of woke or anti-Japanese agenda. The game was also criticised for the presence of Chinese architectural elements and period inappropriate flags, as well as a statue featuring a broken torii gate that resembled the Sano Shrine in Nagasaki, which was damaged during the atomic bombing. Games of this generation are beginning to completely eradicate physical collections, and Ubisoft put this to practice with Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. You would buy the physical game, and you'd need an internet connection to download it, rendering the disc in a way virtually useless. This irked a lot of people, myself included. Physical media is king. I'm sorry, the Ultimate Edition of this game was how much? Ubisoft's response to the criticism was staggering. They acknowledged the concerns and added a disclaimer at the start of the game, and they also stated it's a work of fiction. Yeah, no shit, they're all works of fiction, and that's been stated in all the games. Ubisoft addressed specific concerns about Yasuke and his inclusion. There was a broader debate about the role of diversity inclusion in video games, and with some arguing that it shouldn't come at the expense of historical accuracy. And you know what? I completely agree. There's absolutely no harm in having diversity in a game. As mentioned in my Veilguard video, I'm all for it. But as I mentioned, it should not interfere with pre-established history. I'm looking at you, Ibuki. It's unfair for me to comment on that portion of Shadows, as I didn't get that far, but that's not going to stop us reacting to it, so let's go.
Here, for you, a gift of future color and joy. Blue anemone seeds. I had hoped to find a brighter, bluer patch, but these were hardy. They will grow well, wherever you plant them.
What a thoughtful gift, Yasuke. I don't know what to say.
Really? I do not think I have ever seen you quite so tongue-tied.
Not yet, at least. Do you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
Not at all.
Okay, that was really cringy, really cringy. Oh my lord, I don't know how I got through that as much as I did, but that was really cringy. In the grand scheme of things, Assassin's Creed does take some liberties with events that go on throughout the games, but it's never to the point where it inserts something that was never a thing back then. Here are some examples. In Assassin's Creed 1, Robert de Sable is killed by Altair in 1191, however in real life he died in 1193. The Borgia never marched on Monteriggioni. While Leonardo da Vinci did create the blueprint of the tank and the flying machine, it was not at the same time, despite the series suggesting so. Child labour was outlawed in the 1860s, and it is prevalent throughout the course of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is the time frame that the game is set. Bayek is a Medjay, however he's about 1,000 years too late to even be one. Those are just some of the inaccuracies present, but there is a suspension of disbelief with a lot of the choices that are made with the franchise that I can overlook, but Ibuki is not one of them. I will say that the world is gorgeous. Japan is one of my favourite settings in not just video games but movies and anime. There is something about it that tickles my tism. I only got to explore a small chunk of the region during my playthrough, starting off in the Iga province and going as far as Kyoto. The map is nowhere near as big as Valhalla and Odyssey. It's probably around the same size as Mirage, and I can really appreciate Ubisoft going back to how the games were with map sizes. I absolutely love Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but the map was way too big and arguably the reason why I stopped playing Valhalla as well. It really is tricky not to compare the game to Ghost of Tsushima because both games are similar, with each game doing things in a similar fashion. The combat to me felt very clunky here, whereas Ghosts, it felt fluid, and with the inclusion of the different stances, you really got a feel for the different fighting techniques. Assassin's Creed Shadows has a feature just like the stances, however it's not in depth and it's rather simplified, but just because it's simplified doesn't mean it's not frustrating. The game feels soulless and corporate, and to me this is put onto display with the main menu and the storefront of the game. Why does it have microtransactions? And more so, why does it need it? It's a quadruple A game and they still want more money? It's just so aggressive and something I wish would fuck off. The game features a home front similar to Monteriggioni and the homestead from Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, allowing you to customise your own patch of land and help level your characters up to progress further. It's okay, nothing really that special, it's just kind of there. The gear I would receive when upgrading was awful, but hey, at least the cosmetic options were pretty cool, right? Wrong! It's not enough for me to give a shit. Resource grinding, samey missions with inconsistent enemy leveling, just be done with it and just go back to how it was. How many people just think that Assassin's Creed's fallen off? For me, it was around Assassin's Creed Rogue. Killing Desmond in the third game was the final nail in the coffin for a lot of people, and these modern day protagonists that have been introduced since then are just not it. Sure, Desmond wasn't a charisma magnet, but he was the reason this series started. The franchise was near and dear to my heart, and despite enjoying a lot of the later games, it just doesn't have the spark it once had. The single-player, story-driven experience has been drowned out by controversy, the shit writing, the bloated world, and of course, the box ticking. No protagonist has hit hard since Edward Kenway, and I will die on that hill. Ubisoft are just all over the place right now, and if this is the last we see of the franchise, it's probably for the best. Somewhere down the line, I will be covering Ghost of Tsushima. It'll most likely be around the time Yotei comes out. Honestly, just go and play Ghost of Tsushima and then play Yotei, because that game is going to be amazing. Myself and the scumbags are all really looking forward to Yotei. What did you guys think of Assassin's Creed Shadows? Love it? Hate it? Let me know down below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with my videos in the future. Next up, myself and Lee will be reviewing Predator Concrete Jungle, and we can't wait to get started on it. I can only apologise for the lack of reviews these past few weeks. Work's been my priority, and I've just been working on content when I can, with the odd horror video every now and again. I really appreciate the support and can't wait for you to see what I've been cooking up, especially now that we've just hit over 100 subscribers. We are now currently on 112, and that is amazing. Like, any goal I've set has been smashed, and I really love it. So thank you so much. I hope you've all been appreciating the videos. I really hope you are all enjoying it. The support people have been showing, not just on YouTube, but like from friends and family, it really hasn't gone unnoticed. I can't tell you how grateful I am. But the soppy moment's over. Thanks for the love, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video.